Hello, Fancy community. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping warm. Welcome to Fancy Talk Show. I'm your host, Fancy Wainaina, and today we have an amazing guest who's going to take us through the mistake we do while dating. I would like him to say hi and introduce himself and touch on what he does. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fancy. And I'm so delighted to be here today. And you look amazing,
Thank you.
as always, you look good. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Paul Wangari. Paul Wangari is a counseling psychologist by profession.
Yeah.
Paul Wangari is the CEO of Shaping Destinies Consultancy, where we impact lives and empower the youth. More to that, Paul Wangari is an author.
Okay.
By God's grace, I have the grace to write. I've written several books. My first book is Time Management for Winning Grades, helping young people to appreciate time, to be able to produce good grades. My second book is called Sex and Teenagers. Sex and Teenagers is a book that I've discussed about demystifying the rise from the social media concerning sex to the young people, because they're making very grievous mistakes. And my third book is called Becoming a Man. Becoming a Man is where I've written it with my good friend Kagondo Jr. We are looking at the boy child, giving hope to the boy child to become a man of substance and a man of valor. Looking at the mistakes and the enemies that he has to face, the giants, the monsters, and how he can overcome to stand out. I have lost count. That was my fourth. Yes, my fourth book. It's called Why You Marry Wrong. All right. So Why You Marry Wrong. It's a book that we are looking at the mistakes young people make, and I'm very delighted because that's it's our point of discussion.
Yeah.
The mistake young people are making while dating, leading to wrong marriages, and then they end up suffering. My fifth book is Migrate My Destiny. This is a book we are looking at how our students can maximize on their potential in school to have a bright destiny. Of course, I have another book titled Time Management for Going Beyond Excuses. We also have another one, my skills and values, that people need to have. And yes, it's just a few, but we are still going on.
Awesome.
Yes.
I've read Becoming a Man.
Becoming a Man, and you're not a man.
And I'm not a man, but I'm raising men.
That's it.
Yeah, so it is an amazing book that you have done with Kagondo.
Yes.
And you guys are first to reckon at our time. So we are very happy to have you here. And even as we will take us through on the mistakes that we are making, while dating.
Yes.
And especially also relationships that are apparently supposed to end to marriages, or even end to marriages, but marriages that do not last. So as we introduce our topic, maybe we can start by saying, what is a healthy relationship? We start by saying, what is a healthy relationship and what's a toxic relationship?
Very good. So a relationship or a healthy relationship. So first of all, we need to understand that a relationship cannot be from one person. All right. So a relationship entails two or more people. But in this context, you're talking about a romantic relationship, right? So it's a relationship of two people of different gender.
Yes, that is very.
Yeah, because right now people are twisted. They're having different version, a description of what relationship is. But in our context, it's a male and a female. And who come together. With a mission or with a vision of having a romantic relationship, right? So a healthy relationship, then we can define it as two adults, right? So two adults who are coming together with one vision of bonding together to become one in terms of the relationship, in terms of a love relationship or romantic relationship. And therefore, when you're talking about a healthy relationship, then it must be two adults who are intentional about this relationship. So no one has been coerced to be in that relationship. That tells you what? That the reason why you're seeing so many relationships not working is because someone is going there because of a situation. Someone is going there because of circumstance. Someone sees a guy with money and they feel, I need to be
because of a need.
Yes, a need, exactly. A guy will see a lady, very well built and beautiful, like an angel, and then they will be like, wow, I want that. So whatever has attracted them to this person is not because of the intentionality of being with this person, but being driven to this person because of a certain need, to fit a certain need, to fulfill a certain need. Right? So when you're talking of a healthy relationship, then there must be two people who are intentional about this relationship, and we are here because we want to build one another, we want to fulfill one another emotionally, and also not just also only emotionally, but also psychologically, because when one is in a relationship, you build one another all around. We call it holistic growth or holistic benefit. So you are building one another from different aspects. And that's what we can call it a healthy relationship. All right. So that must be very clear. That two adults coming together with one intention, and that is being intentional about this relationship, and try to see how can we build one another, how can we support one another, how can we grow together.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. And now, what are the foundations of building a healthy relationship?
Very good. Now, the foundation of building a healthy relationship. Number one should not be lonely for them to need someone. All right?
Yeah.
So when someone is acting from a point of loneliness, then that person is not ready for a relationship. All right? Because this person ought to be whole before getting bringing someone into their lives. Right? So that is very, very key. That one must be whole, one must be complete by themselves, one must be happy with themselves, one must love themselves for them to be able to love someone else, or for them to be able to bring someone on board. So that is one. All right.
So if you happen to feel you're not enough,
yes,
you're not ready for a relationship.
You're not ready for a relationship. Okay. If you feel you're so lonely that you need someone, then you're not ready for a relationship.
So all these people go around saying, I'm lonely,
yes,
I'm looking for a woman or a man.
Exactly.
That's a red flag.
Exactly, sure. And if you feel, if it's a guy, and they feel that their house is so disorganized, that they need someone.
Not after Mama 4.
Yeah, so that one person is not looking for, is not ready for a relationship at all. All right?
Okay.
All right? Okay. So one must be whole, one must be complete for them to be able to bring someone on board. Right? Number two, foundation. You must be aware of why. Without answering that question, one is not ready for a relationship. Because you must know and have concrete and precise reason why I want to bring this person on board. If you don't have that reason, that why, all right, either the person coming into your life will suffer, or you will suffer at some point, because there will be no meaning. There will be no something to hold you to that relationship. All right. So one must be able to have the answer to why am I getting myself into this relationship.
Okay.
All right. Number three, one must be mature enough. And maturity is not defined by the physical appearance of a person.
Absolutely.
We have people who are mature physically, but emotionally they are not mature.
Yeah, they're so immature emotionally.
Yes, they are very young. Okay, okay.
That's one.
Yes.
Young.
They are very young. They are very young emotionally, and therefore, when they are young, it's just like a kid. When you have a baby, they are self-centered. They are driven by what in psychology call ED. They want their satisfaction to be at that particular time.
They don't compromise.
Exactly. So if they want it is now, it is now. So when you get into a relationship with someone who is not mature, then this person will not have the patience. This person will not have the psychology, will not have the understanding, will not have the capacity to be able to handle the challenges that comes with a relationship.
Because those are the people who say it is my way or the highway.
Exactly.
The world will adjust.
Yes. And that's why a good point to throw this in. Not everyone is meant for a relationship.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Some are meant to be alone.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly. Because so there are people who never mature. There are people who never mature emotionally to be able to accommodate someone into their lives.
Is that a disorder?
It is not a disorder,
What is
but
it?
that's how we are, and that's how human we are. So someone will take longer, and that's why you see someone at 40 not yet married, someone at 50 not yet married, all right? And then at some point they get married, and they're very happy. So the society will judge them, this person is not getting married, this person has an issue, this person, but they understand. And if this person is pressured to getting into marriage or relationship,
It will not last.
it will not.
And he hurts.
Exactly, the other person. Right? So one must be at the point of understanding, am I mature enough? For example, basic things to know someone is not mature. Right? Someone we are having a date. And then we say, let us meet exactly at 4. And this person shows up at 6. With no reason, no excuse, and doesn't want to be asked why you're late.
They're entitled.
This person cannot apologize. Doesn't see a big deal.
They can't even explain.
Yes, right. Someone going for a date and you have the mentality that it's a guy who must pay the bill. Okay, that's on. I expected that. I expected that. I expected that.
Okay.
I expected that.
Are you trying to say I'm not?
Okay,
Yeah.
going into a guy's house empty-handed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And for a guy, you know,
And the reverse.
yes, all right, not having that that capacity of understanding that this person is an adult, is an individual. He's whole. He's someone that you cringe to this person. You want to sniff into their phones, whom they talk to
suffocate.
insecurity.
Yes, and suffocate them.
So when you see someone acting from that point, then that person is not ready, and that's why I said. So some people are so self-centered that when they invite someone or someone comes into their life, that person end up hurting.
Yeah.
Another foundation, of course, of a relationship is God. All right, it's God.
Very paramount.
Yes, because God is the foundation, is the founder of everything, and relationship was His idea. Remember, if for those of our viewers who are Christian, you know, you even in Muslim, I guess the same, because Genesis is also forced for them as well. You understand that Adam never asked for a mate, for a companion. God, at His own wisdom, realized that this guy is lonely, and therefore I need to introduce to him someone, a companion, a helper. It was not his idea. He did not want. He was okay because he had never seen another human, all right? So he was okay with the animals. So it was the idea of God to bring him a helper. So foundation, any relationship that is not founded on those principles, God, that relationship will suffer at some point. All right? So that's to tell our viewers that sex is not the foundation of a relationship.
Sex is not the foundation. There's so many other things.
Exactly. All right? Because that's what people think. That since we have had sex, then that's it. So we are in a relationship. We are boyfriend and girlfriend.
It's not a foundation, but it's crucial as well, right?
No, I know. Marriage, sex is for the married.
Oh, we are talking about dating. We've not crossed over. I get it. Sorry, you lost me at some point.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. And now after these two young people observing now and having to make a good foundation, they now transit to marriage. And so in marriage, do we carry the same principles or they change along the way as well?
Well, now it's just like any institution, even learning institution, for example.
Yeah.
When you are in affirmative years, you progress to the upper level. There'll change. There'll be some changes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Even in career, as you continue to progress, there are changes. So the same happens even with the relationship. All right. Because do you know why people marry wrong? Do you know why people marry wrong?
Tell us.
People marry wrong because they feel, all right? People marry wrong because they feel that I cannot be without. I cannot live without. So they are marrying out of a selfish need. Many marriages. I need a wife, I need someone to cook for me, I need someone to wash for me, I need someone to be called wife to. So all these are very selfish reasons. All right?
I think they are pushed by society as well.
Absolutely, which is very wrong. All right?
All you are this old. I have not seen my words, my grandchildren.
Yes.
I have not. You know, when you go, actually, I see over the holidays, even there's a meme that goes around, people saying husband for hire and wife for hire over this, and the tag amount, if you kiss me, if you hug me, this much. So it clearly shows us there's a what? There's a force from the society. At a certain age, you need to have marriage.
Yes.
And because probably you feel you're not ready for it, and you want to go and please the parents, you carry this. And now the question is,
yes,
how many will you carry for how long?
Exactly, absolutely. A very, very, very good point. And that's why we say that during dating moment, it's a very, very important phase that one should not be blinded. Because if you make the error at that particular time, you will have to live with the consequences the rest of your life. How do I mean? If you date someone and there were some issues in that relationship, and you decided to not to see them, you decided to overlook them, you decided to sweep them under the carpet, and you don't want to pay attention on them. So these things you ignored will become monsters in the marriage. So one, you either break up, and the moment you break up, you shall live with that wound. It will never heal. All right? Because there are kids, perhaps there are kids out of that marriage, right? So if you separate, though you will say, I'm okay, we are not together, but that which had joined you together, remember when a man and a woman marry, they become one. So if you want to separate them, then what does that mean? You have to tear, because they are one. You have to tear, and that's what I'm saying. That wound, you live with it. That scar, you live with it the rest of your life. All right? Or you decide to stay in that marriage. So whatever it is that it's not working, then you have to live with that. The
so
pain.
there's still a wound.
Exactly. Either way, and that's why.
What is worse? Is it staying or leaving?
Sitaki kupigwa mawe na watu. but of course, you look at, and that's why it's neither that. It's neither either leaving or staying.
Yeah.
Because the reason why you were dating, you had a vision of one day becoming a man and a wife and a husband. So there was nothing like we'll separate.
At some point.
Yes, you have to stay. Understand? Right?
Yeah.
You have to stay.
Yeah.
And that's why the foundation, or when you're dating, it was very crucial to make the right decision, to meet the right person, to date the right person, and to go through it the right way for you to be able to stay in that marriage.
Now, Coach Paul, that brings me to a question.
Yes.
Do we have people who pretend during the dating window?
Yes.
Because I think, for example, if we started dating, I will show up even physically, I will show up nicely, well groomed. you know, there are gestures that I'll show, I'll check on you, I'll do blah, 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 blah. You know how the dating window, we call it the honeymoon, right?
Yes.
And then when we get into the house, upate mimi hata naoganga uso nikienda kuoga usiku, you know, I'm braless. I am not presentable like I was. I'm not making my nails, I'm not, you know, I'm not doing makeup like now. Also, you know, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of pretense in the dating window.
Yes.
And could this, as I feel like this is one of the reasons why people marry wrong, because you have a picture of fancy,
Yes.
but that is not the authentic fancy. All right, I have a picture of Paul,
Yes.
but that's not the authentic Paul. So you know you cannot pretend for long.
Exactly.
So we go to the house.
Yes.
Oh, Paul does not shower daily. We go to the house, fancy, heavy. You know, there was that expectation, there was that even intention. Of course, it will start even changing me. How would you say about that?
Very well. Now, I want you to imagine you are buying a piece of land worth 1 million Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
You are buying a car, your dream car, all right, worth 2 million Kenya shillings. Do you want to tell me that you will go into that buying process without due diligence?
Of course, no.
Why? Because you don't want your money to get lost, right?
Yeah.
So you must be very keen that this deal must be clean, this deal must be true, as in you must, everything you have checked, everything is right.
You have to go through the process.
Exactly, and you take your time. Hautakuja pombe gari ndio hii achukue leta pesa yetu enda. No. You'll have to call your friend and another friend. You have to consult. You have to ask for experts who have had a car before or had bought a land before. How does it go? Right? So you'll take a lot of time before you seal that deal. But what makes you feel, and this is the mistake people are making, that you want to get into a relationship and you won't just do it shagra bagra and then yes, and then you want to to get into a marriage. It doesn't work like that.
How long should we date then?
No, it depends. All right. All I'm saying, it depends.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that during dating period is the moment to know this person in and out. Why do you think people date for 5 years without getting married? 3 years.
Hey, sisi
2 years.
tunakimbisha syllabus. We are not dating for that long.
You'll meet kwa club, you exchange contact, and even the things, if gods are on your side, you go home with that girl or that man that night, right?
One night stand.
Yes,
happens.
Exactly. And
First
then
mistake.
And now you expect that with this kind of foundation that things will work out during the marriage. You see, this person is cheating on you. This person is not honest, not even cheating. Someone, even it's very small things, very little things, like crying. Where are you? Niko kwa hao. Yet she's not in the house.
Video call, tap.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
but I feel
very small things.
Small things that end up being a mountain.
Exactly, and that's why someone needs to be very keen and very does his due diligence. Just like what you're saying the other day, it was very sad. You know, the siblings are married. The siblings, even they're expecting a baby.
Yeah,
understand?
That's madness.
Yes, as bad as it may sound, right? But this is showing you the reality of how people don't care. They don't want to do due diligence, right? Because they think they live in a fallacy. They live in utopia. They feel that relationship is autopilot. That ukianza kudate, na tuanza kunini, everything will fall into place just like that, and everything will be perfect, and you live happily there after forever. No. So that's why we need to understand that in a relationship, one must be very keen. You must be able to interrogate. You must be able to check on this person, to test them and try them until they stand approved.
I would like you to touch on, what do we call it? This dating that happens when people are far away. What do you call it?
The distance relationship.
Distance dating. How should people go about the distance dating? Long distance
Relationship,
dating,
yes.
dating, yeah, the dating phase.
Yes.
Because now maybe the guy is far away, the lady is far away, and these two people are working maybe towards having a marriage or something like that, a relationship. How should they go about it?
Now, we must be honest with ourselves.
Okay.
We must be very honest with ourselves. That marriage is a lifetime commitment. Marriage is a lifetime commitment. Marriage can never be a trial and error thing. It can never. Marriage does not work on assumption. Marriage does not work on luck. Trial and error. It can never happen. Just like you have said, that people will pretend, people will show you what you want to see. People will tell you what you want to hear. They will never tell you what you don't want to hear. They will never reveal to you their negative part, their dark side. They want to portray the best. All right? Lakini,
They mask.
Exactly. That's the word. Very good. They mask. However, things you can never mask forever. Things will have you. The reality will hit. Right? I give you a good example. I've written that in my book, Sex and Teenagers, a story, and I call them confession. They are confession in this book. This guy went to a club, and then akapata kachile, beautiful girl. They were dancing there, and you see clubs, especially in Nairobi, matters zinatoka za green, za red, za white, za whatever. So you can never even know the true color of this person. Well, everyone is brown.
Everybody is beautiful and handsome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy sees a lady and they start dancing, and then they take one drink or two. The guy does excess, and at the wee hours of the night, the guy suggests, the lady suggests, can we get a somewhere private? The lady suggests, can we get somewhere private where we can talk, right? And the guy is totally drunk. So the guy says, no, I live around. We can go to my house. And the lady was like, it's okay, that would be better. In fact, you're very drunk, you need to rest. So the guy calls a cab, and then they proceed to this guy's house. They even don't switch on the light because the guy is very drunk. And they are that heat, we call them passion, the heat of the moment, right?
The urge.
Yes. So what does it do? They undress and they jump on each other, and they do whatever they do, they know what to do. And what happens, all right? So this guy wakes up the following morning around 10 a.m. and he cannot recollect coming home with someone. He can't remember ever at one point having a wife or gotten married. So he wonders, who is this person on my bed? When did I have a roommate, a bedmate? So the guy is confused. He can't correct his thoughts. So he looks at this lady, and he opens the duvet and looks at the woman, and to his shock, this woman is older than his grandmother. By the look. By the look. So the guy is shocked, and he doesn't understand.
Denial.
What am I doing with this old woman? Literally old. Literally. Mzee. Lakini kwa ile kwa club alikuwa na mataa nini, alikuwa very beautiful. But now that's not the case. Exactly. But nyanya mzee. So the guy is in a panic mode. Alright? He's in a panic mode. So the guy rushes, gets confused, kick out the lady, and then wonders, what did we do? Any protection? No. So what might my fate? The guy rushes to the VCT, and he says whatever he did, but the doctors are like, no, you have to wait for 3 months. But the guy is, no, I want to know right now. I want to know. Apparently, the guy turns out to be positive. So he may not have been affected by this lady, infected by this lady, but this was his lifestyle, picking girls from the club and going with them at home.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Is that this guy suffered because of that ignorance, right? That you want things right now and right here, and let's do it. Relationship can never work like that.
You have to be sober.
So you must be sober. You must be intentional. You must do your ground check well, right? Someone was telling me that you need to understand, Fancy, that if you have a boyfriend, you need to know what happened to their ex. Now people are trying to
How will you know?
If
you ask me what happened to my ex, unless we have those who are sitaki kuita. Okay, what I'm trying to say, let me not even put that statement I was just about to bring across. But even all over coaches like you and other people who talk about relationships,
yes,
they advise you not to go with your baggages. In fact, they tell you don't discuss because definitely I didn't leave because it was very good.
Could it be you are the source of the problem?
Exactly. But also, if I was the source, could I? Will I tell you?
Very good, very good. Remember, patterns in relationships never lie. Patterns in relationships never lie. And that's why you're saying that marriage is not for the kids. Marriage is not out of emotions, right? Relationship and dating could be emotion, but marriage, if your relationship, you are planning it to go into all the way to marriage. And I don't see any other reason why people should be in a relationship, right?
Why should they should date if they're not intending to get to the marriage?
Exactly, right?
The goal should be the marriage.
Exactly. Now, if then the goal is the marriage, then you must understand that hakuna kitu inafaa huwa haujui kuhusu huyu mtu, right? And that's why one needs to take time. You should not rush. We meet and then 3 months we are married, right?
We are even expecting a baby.
Exactly. How well do you know this person? How well do you know where they come from? In that case, we have just discussed, these guys never knew that they were siblings, right? Because they met in Nairobi and everything in the university.
Oh, they didn't know.
They didn't know. They did know.
I assumed they did.
No, they didn't know.
Okay.
It's only after they have stayed with for so long that the Kagal shows this guy a photo of her father.
And
the guy is like,
oh,
what?
This is
my father. Understand? So one, and we have seen so many such cases even in the past, right? Unaenda nyumbani ambua, this is your cousin, and you have been doing all those nasty things for years because uko Nairobi. Understand?
Yeah.
Right? So one needs to take time and understand this person in and out. Understand, did you know, by the way, right, that one should be able even to check the Vesus factor, the blood group, to know if you are compatible, you can have a kid.
A healthy kid.
Yes, a healthy kid. Did you know? Even, I'm not sure how. I don't know so true how true it is. But even they're saying right now you need even to go for sickle cell testing.
Yeah.
Right, because to know if you're compatible. Yeah. Otherwise, you have kids who have issues. Understand? But now people don't want to go through that route. They think it is a very long path.
Yeah.
Right? So people want to meet, we are having sex and we're having all this and we are good, and next time we are getting married. Another mistake they're making is, now when there's a kid, what happens? In my book, Why You Marry Wrong, I've discussed that reasons that lead young people into wrong relationship and marriages.
Leading to right here. Our director is telling us our time is up for this segment. Let's pick it up. It is a heated debate. We can go on and on and on. Let's pick it up there in our second segment. So guys, keep tuned. Ensure you subscribe if you haven't. Like, watch, share, and comment. Thank you.